Hello, and a very warm welcome. My name is Laura Dunham, and I am the Associate Dean of the Schultz School of Entrepreneurship, and I am delighted to welcome you to the second annual award ceremony for the campus finals of the Fowler Global Social Innovation Challenge here at the University of St. Thomas. Today, we get to recognize and celebrate the social entrepreneurs among us. Those students who are tackling important societal challenges and working to make the world a better place through innovation and entrepreneurship. In a world of challenges, our students are not afraid to say, there has to be a better way. And then to be the ones who roll up their sleeves and serve as the catalysts for that change. Audience, please feel free to use the Q&A window to your right to chat and to shout out your encouragement and to root for your teams. Each team competing today engaged with one or more of the United Nations 17 Sustainable Development Goals to address a social or environmental problem. These 17 goals, adopted by all United Nations member states in 2015, provide a shared blueprint for peace and prosperity for people and the planet, now and into the future. These goals represent an urgent call to action, and they recognize that ending poverty and other deprivations must go hand in hand with strategies to improve health and education, to reduce inequality, and to spur economic growth, all while tackling climate change and working to preserve our oceans and forests. They make bold demands of us, but here at the University of St. Thomas, our students are answering the call. Under the leadership of our president, Dr. Julie Sullivan, in 2017, St. Thomas earned the esteemed designation of an Ashoka Changemaker campus. As an Ashoka Changemaker institution, we are dedicated to excellence in campus-wide social innovation and changemaking. To help us kick off this great event, I would like to invite Dr. Sullivan to share her welcome with you. As an entrepreneur herself, leading innovation for academic excellence at St. Thomas, she understands the value of experiences like this for students to connect their education and passion to today's most pressing social problems. Please welcome Dr. Julie Sullivan.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the second annual Fowler Global Social Innovation Challenge Finals at the University of St. Thomas. Today is so exciting because it's about energizing and nurturing the entrepreneurial spirit of our students to make a positive difference in the world. At the heart of St. Thomas is a constant striving to seek out new ways of advancing the common good. Change-making is in our DNA, and now more than ever, we need entrepreneurs working to solve social problems to create opportunities for all and leave a lasting legacy for future generations. This challenge is one important initiative toward that goal, and we're not alone in this endeavor. This June, the University of St. Thomas will host student teams from 29 universities around the world to pitch their social innovations for the opportunity to win seed funding. I want to thank our longtime friend and partner, Ron Fowler, for his support of this competition. Ron is an entrepreneur who continues to spark innovation and new ideas. He is the force behind this event, and his generous heart and entrepreneurial spirit inspires us all. To our finalist teams, I admire your passion, creativity, and hard work. I look forward to cheering on the two teams that advanced today to the global competition in June. Judges and mentors, thank you for giving your time and experience to help develop the next generation of social entrepreneurs. I hope you find inspiration in the innovative spirit of our teams. Enjoy the ceremony.
Thank you, Dr. Sullivan, for those remarks. And many thanks to Ron and Alexis Fowler for the tremendous generosity that makes this event possible. Well, we had quite an exciting competition season on our campus this year. The Fowler Global Social Innovation Challenge began this spring with our students doing the hard work to dig in and better understand the problem they wanted to solve. Rather than jumping in too quickly with a preconceived solution, student teams had to spend time researching a problem aligned with at least one UN Sustainable Development Goal, and to gain greater empathy for the people who experience that problem and whom they want to serve. For round one in March, they submitted an executive summary and an infographic demonstrating their in-depth understanding of the social or environmental problem they chose to address. Then in early April, the team selected to advance to round two submitted an 8-minute recorded pitch with their proposed solution to their chosen problem. After round two, 6 teams were selected to move to the finals round, and this morning, these finalists presented their pitches to a new panel of judges. Our judges had the difficult task of determining which 2 teams will advance to the global finals in June to compete against student teams from 16 countries around the world. Here are some highlights of this year's program at St. Thomas. Students from across campus competed in the Fowler Global Social Innovation Challenge. Student participants represented 15 majors, including computer science, actuarial science, economics, entrepreneurship, and engineering. To support these and all student participants, the Schultz School hosted several workshops and mentoring sessions. 19 mentors, online judges, and finalist judges volunteered their time to make this competition possible. And today, the 6 teams who advanced to the St. Thomas finals are competing for seed capital of $2,000 for third place, $3,000 for second place, and $5,000 for first place. Beyond the cash prizes awarded today, the top 2 global finalists will have the chance to win additional seed funding at this year's global finals, which the Schultz School and the University of St. Thomas are honored to host in June. We cannot wait to welcome 28 universities from every continent around the world to meet, network, learn from each other, and compete for $60,000 in seed capital prizes. And we invite all of you to join us for the Global Finals Award ceremony on June 12th. There should be a QR code appearing on your screen now, so please grab your cameras. You'll be directed to a link to save the date for the event. So, shortly we will find out who has won awards today and which 2 teams will be heading to the global finals. But before we get to that, we'll have the opportunity to see elevator pitches from our finalist teams. Following those pitches, the audience will get their chance to vote on their favorite pitch to decide which team wins an additional $500 Audience Choice Award. And our teams won't be the only ones taking home something special. As a thank you gift for joining us, one lucky member of the audience will receive an bracelet from our local social enterprise, Epimonia. Epimonia was founded by St. Thomas alumnus Mohammed Malam, who will serve as our keynote speaker today. Epimonia collects unusable life jackets previously worn by refugees looking for a better future, and it upcycles them into symbols of hope in the form of bracelets and apparel. All of the products directly support refugees with employment, housing, scholarships, and more. To be eligible to win the bracelet, please post to your social media channel of choice, inviting others to join the award ceremony, or post with a comment on what inspires you. Make sure you use the hashtag on the screen when you tag our channels. Well, regardless of who wins seed funding, we will leave this event today feeling more creative, more innovative, more inspired, and no one more than our students. Fowler Global Social Innovation Challenge competitors tell us they gain a number of skills, including concept ideation, business modeling, competitive analysis, critical and creative thinking, pitching, and the opportunity to make their vision a reality. But let's let our students tell you themselves. Today, we're excited to share with you Braille Easy, a 2020 alumni team whose vision has become a reality. Braille Easy is a student team of computer scientists, engineers, and entrepreneurs developing cutting-edge technology to bridge socioeconomic gaps for the blind community in the US and abroad. The team was among our top 2 finalists last year and went on to win 3 awards at the global finals, placing among the top 5 out of all 40 teams that competed. The Fowler Global Social Innovation Challenge helped propel their vision to reshape technology for the blind. Let's hear their story.
I don't know what it would be like without Braille, because Braille has been my companion ever since as a kid. That independence that I've gained through Braille, that wouldn't be there. That confidence that I've gained through Braille, that wouldn't be there. I would just be stuck to more so audio technologies. I wouldn't know what it's like to actually touch the words on the page of a book.
My name is Ebenezer Ayana. I'm the founder of Braille Easy. I'm a senior computer science student at University of St. Thomas, graduating this May. I'm originally from Ethiopia as well. Braille Easy was an idea that I had ever since I was back in Ethiopia. One thing I saw in my country was, for people with disabilities as a whole, technology was non-existent. I used to see people who had no legs having to crawl with their hands because they didn't have any wheelchairs. And these things provoked me to bridge the gap that exists in technology. And so when I came to America, I met with my co-founder, Amanda Baumgart, and we set out on this journey to create one product that helps bridge this gap for people with visual disabilities. So Braille Easy is a startup that aims to improve the lives of people with visual disabilities through a smartphone case. And the reason we came up with Braille Easy was because of the decreasing Braille literacy rates among the blind community. So we found that currently there's a 10% literacy rate in the blind community, even though Braille is important for the social and financial independence. And so we wanted to address this problem by creating a device that is easy to use, very novel, it uses very unique features, and helps blind individuals attain the best education and workplace opportunities. So we address the Sustainable Development Goals of 3, 4, 8, and 10, primarily number 10, which reduces inequalities, because as of now, for the blind community, learning is a huge problem because they are not receiving the same education as people with sight. When it comes to education, we think of reading and writing as very essential, but for the blind, they only receive education in audio primarily. We know that audio technology doesn't provide literacy. It's the same thing as saying, hey, teach your child with audio instead of going to school. That doesn't work.
When I was younger, I would always listen to audiobooks a lot. I know my dad and my mom, they would come into the room and they'd push the pause button on the player. I'd be like, Dad, Mom, why'd you push the pause button? It's like, we want you to read. I would have like a shelf of Braille books. The same Braille book that I have, I would have the audio versions. And so after they would hand me the same book and I would just, start to read. That, pushed me to want to, read more books and publications. And so I think thirst for reading, I don't think I would have that without Braille.
We're creating it right now. We do have a prototype in place. That is, we're developing it. It is going to be a case which has solenoid actuated pins, and they would move through your fingertips and allow you to read Braille.
Over the past year, a lot of testing with the app and giving it a lot of feedback. And I'd like to say that the app, and both for iOS and Android, have come a long way, and it's really awesome to see that.
We are making progress with our prototypes. Also, we're working on getting grants from the government through the SBIR program. Equip many people with visual disabilities with Braille knowledge so that we can then move forward to having this product in businesses and giving it to schools. And so we can have these products in retail stores so that blind individuals can know the price of a product when they're shopping.
Braille is the only way that the blind can gain literacy. The blind are just learning through audio. They're only going to be listening, but they won't be understanding. And so Braille kind of fills that gap of trying to understand what the people are learning. Giving them Braille is another window to giving someone independence. Instead of having to rely on something else or someone else, they have the freedom to read whenever they want and whatever they want if it's available. independence on its own is a big gift. That's the goal for any blind individual, is to do what anyone else can do, maybe even more efficiently.
Our students are passionate about confronting the world's challenges, and it is great to see Ebenezer apply what he learned through his competition experience last year and continue to grow in those skills as an entrepreneur to make the world a better place. Now, we want to show you some of the great ideas from this year's competition. Meet our 2021 finalists. There's no denying the passion and personal connection our students have for the problem areas they chose to address. After our finalist showcase, we'll need you to vote on your favorite venture for the Audience Choice Award.
My name is Amy Helgeson, and I'm a social entrepreneur seeking to eliminate the inequalities in the fashion industry for people living with disabilities. Through extensive empathy interviewing, we found a common theme. People living with disabilities are unable to find clothing that matches their style, allows for independence, and meets their physical needs. After speaking with fashion designers and disability advocates across the nation, we discovered that small adaptive brands already offer stylish, functional, and affordable clothing options. We asked ourselves, why is there such a significant disconnect between the disabled population and inclusive designers? The answer is simple. Small brands need more resources to reach this market, but big brands are currently dominating the industry and not listening to the populations they serve. Thus, we created Label, an e-commerce network that enables people living with disabilities to easily find stylish and accessible clothing. Label provides a centralized site for small adaptive brands to sell their designs and connect with their intended market. When customers visit Label's website, their experience begins with the style quiz, which perfectly matches them with a designer based on style, physical needs, and budget. For the 61 million adults in the United States living with a disability, our solutions to the inequity in the fashion industry will boost confidence, self-esteem, and independence. Our team of fashion enthusiasts, engineers, and strategists believe in human-centered design, and that's why we're the team to spark this change in retail. Thank you.
Hello, my name is John Wallace, and together with Ebenezer Dadson, we are Rsai. The stethoscope is the first diagnostic tool clinicians use to examine patients for heart or lung problems. As ubiquitous as stethoscopes are, they currently provide limited insights during screening. Clinicians that don't have the experience of cardiologists find it difficult to identify what diseases might be present when they listen to a patient's heart with a stethoscope. As a result, clinicians often refer their patients for additional testing or specialist visits to confirm findings. This creates immense hardship for patients who can't afford the time or expense to chase possible diagnosis. Rsai's intelligent stethoscope empowers clinicians by bringing the tools and expertise of the most knowledgeable cardiologists to their stethoscopes. We integrate the latest advances in electronics and artificial intelligence technologies to create an affordable stethoscope that gives clinicians more power and confidence. Our technology eliminates unnecessary testing and shortens the time to treatment, making both clinicians and patients' lives easier. With Rsai, clinicians can save more lives, and hospitals and clinics can help make quality healthcare diagnostics more accessible for everyone. We are Rsai.
Hi, my name is Kim.
Hey, my name is Khaled.
My name is Tat.
We are all international students and we understand how hard it is to live and to study abroad. Therefore, we came up with Abroad Studies. Its mission is to provide a community of shared values, empowerment, and full support for international students.
We talked to 15 other international students and 6 officers of the Office of International Students and Scholars at the University of St. Thomas. We learned that most of them wish they had connections here in the U.S. who can guide them through the process of studying abroad. In addition, adapting to a new environment and navigating academic life are common problems we face.
At Abroad Studies, we help students overcome this problem by providing 3 services. The first service is called the A to Z Guidebook, which contains comprehensible step-by-step guidelines for all stages of study abroad. The second service is a social network for international students to make connections. The third service is called Helping Hand Program, which connects international students to affordable resources for their needs.
There are currently more than 1 million international students in the U.S., and this number is expected to increase. We commit to our mission, and if you care about giving students all over the world access to the world-class educations, join us.
Hello, I am Rachel Farah, and I'm the creator of VisuPlan. I currently run the legal side of the app, as well as working with community partners.
My name is Kevin Malmston. I am currently spearheading development of the application, building it from the ground up to where it is today.
VisuPlan is a visual planning and anxiety relieving app for children with autism. Children with autism tend to struggle with something called sensory overload, in which a lack of daily structure causes them deep emotional anxiety and distress. The CDC reported as of 2020 that 1 in 54 children in the U.S. has autism, creating a need in the market. VisuPlan fills that market gap by utilizing an iCal for a parent to visually schedule their child's daily tasks using colorful icons. This is helpful since children with autism are typically visual learners. The child can then go to the daily view page and follow along with their daily tasks. A timer at the top of the page, symbolized by that blue line, helps a lot of students engage with their current task and be aware of what's coming next. Additionally, VisuPlan aims to partner up with multiple small businesses in the Twin Cities area to create a rewards page. For every task completed by the student, they will earn points that will be redeemable for freebies at local businesses. This will encourage compliance to daily tasks and in turn further that child's education. Education is the best gift we can give to students, and we believe that tools like this will not only create a viable and sustainable business, but enhance the common good by lifting up those around us and creating a more equitable environment for all to succeed. We are VisuPlan, and we are planning a better today for autistic learners for a successful tomorrow. Thank you for listening, and we hope you consider us for this grant.
I'm Ryan. And I'm Colton, and we are the co-founders of Profolio. Our goal is to bridge the gap in economic inequality by creating an inclusive investment platform that can bring more diversity into the investment world by expanding financial access to those previously excluded from the space.
Currently in America, the rich are able to grow their wealth faster than the poor, widening the gap in wealth inequality. This issue is perpetuated by varying degrees of disposable income, the ability to take on risk, and an unequal knowledge of the importance of investing and diversifying. The current solutions to minimize wealth inequality are marginal tax rates, brokerage services, financial advisors, and investment firms. However, they ultimately fall short of addressing this growing issue.
Our solution is Profolio, a completely free online broker-dealer that provides free educational resources to teach users about investing, a portfolio building tool to help users build a customizable portfolio outline that is tailored to their individual needs and risks, and maximizes the wealth of our users by cutting unnecessary and deceptive fees that other broker-dealers charge.
At Profolio, we believe we can combat wealth inequality by increasing the financial literacy of the working class, growing the total number of retail investors, and changing the way that broker-dealers charge for their services. We hope that you will support us along the way.
If I asked you to donate $1 per 1,000 gallons of water that your household uses, could you do it? The water infrastructure in the U.S. needs expansion. But the existing pipes are already aged and we're facing an impending crisis. The American Water Works Association estimates that the cost of restoring underground pipes will total at least $1 trillion over the next 25 years. and that's without including the cost of new infrastructure. But yet, existing water access is relatively cheap, and the average U.S. household spent just $530 on water in 2014. So, is it ethical to raise the price of water for all, even if 1.4 million households in the U.S. do not even have access to indoor plumbing? I would like to propose the idea of the Water Project, a funding accelerator for water systems. The program would work with existing smart water monitors, which measure and report water usage. The Water Project would be integrated into these platforms, and households will be able to select a monetary donation for 1,000 gallons of water that they use. At even a $1 donation, households would donate about $30 per household member yearly. The funds would be donated by the Water Project to organizations that work directly with communities seeking resources. Even small funding and raising awareness could promote and protect water systems in the U.S.
Wow, what great ideas from our student teams. Well, now it's time for you, the audience, to pick your favorite. Which idea do you find most compelling? And obviously, it will not be an easy choice. Audience, to vote, open the camera on your smartphone and hold it up to the QR code on the screen in front of you. You'll be prompted by a poll that you'll get to from the QR code, and the poll will ask you to choose the best pitch. You can also vote by text by using the prompt on the screen. The team with the winning pitch will be announced later in the program. So let's take a moment or two to let everybody grab their phones, scan that QR code, and make their choice. Now you know what our judges were up against in having to select among these outstanding student social entrepreneurs. Let's take a couple more seconds. Make sure everybody gets their vote in. Okay, we're going to close that poll. I hope everybody got a chance to vote. I know it was hard to pick. Well, before we get to our awards announcement, I am really delighted to introduce you to our keynote speaker for today, Mohammed Malam. Mohammed is a 2018 graduate of the University of St. Thomas and founder and CEO of Epimonia. Mohammed was born in a refugee camp in Kenya, where his family had fled to escape violence in his home country of Somalia. He arrived in America as a young boy. As a college student, Mohammed founded Epimonia as a social venture dedicated to ensuring that all refugees received the same level of support that he and his family felt they had when they arrived in the US. And today, at barely 25, he has already impacted the lives of so many through his work. Mohammed's story will leave you nothing short of inspired. Please join me in welcoming our keynote speaker, Mohammed Malam.
Today, there are 65.6 million people around the world that have been forced from home. At Epimonia, we are committed to building humanity piece by piece. When a refugee flees from their home to escape war, prosecution, or natural disaster, they come with a whole new set of challenges. A lack of opportunities, adapting to a new society, and finding a support system. We are here to change that. By creating awareness with our recycled life jackets that are made at Dream Factory, Epimonia's goal is to provide guidance to refugees by finding an integrated solution that can help provide them with financial support and, most of all, making dreams come true. Nightmares can turn into dreams, and ignorance can turn into compassion. Today, refugees are the future, and together we can build humanity.
Thank you so much, Laura, for the warm introduction. It's great to join this year's cohort of Fowler GSIC finalists today. Congrats to all of you who made it this far in the competition. It's truly a testament to your hard work and dedication. My name is Malam. I'm the founder and creative director at Epimonia. Epimonia is a fashion apparel company that supports refugees here in the U.S. using refugee life jackets. As you guys can see, this is the actual life jackets that you take from Lesbos, Greece. It's actually worn by a refugee crossing the Mediterranean Sea when they flee, war. And we have a couple of NGOs that pick up the life jackets, ship it to our studio. We make the products such as bracelets, the patches on our sweatshirts, and it's also made by refugees here. So yeah, today I'll be sharing with you guys about the evolution, what inspired me to start Epimonia, and the challenges that I've embarked throughout the whole process. It's been a quite challenge, and it's been a quite ride as well. I'm thankful and grateful for the process that I've been through, and yeah, and I would like to also share my story and why I started Epimonia and what inspired me. So, a brief background about myself. I'm a former refugee from Somalia. I came to the U.S. when I was 4 years old. We first landed in Houston, Texas. After living a year in Texas, we moved to Minnesota. The reason why we made that transition was because there was a lot of Lutheran churches that were sponsoring refugees back then in the 90s. And it was great because Minnesota was home to us. I mean, if you guys know or may not know, we have the biggest Somali refugee population outside of the country Somalia. So it was literally home for us. And I went to all Somali charter school when I was in my childhood. And after that, I went to all suburban high school at Edina. And that's how I came about University of St. Thomas, where I pursued my athletic career. I did track and field over there, and it was great from there. So from 2017 to 2018, I started Epimonia. The reason why I started Epimonia was to combat the xenophobic, the hate that was going around in the media. When we hear refugees in the media, it was so much negative. And my goal was to combat that and share positive stories of how refugees come to a new country. They sacrifice a lot, and they provide for their families, for their kids, and just that's what we were doing. But when you hear the media saying refugees are here to steal our jobs, immigrants are here to jail, it was all BS. So that was my role and my responsibility to share those stories. So I literally, me and my friend, we told them hey, let's go around the community and just share these amazing stories of refugees, because we don't hear those kind of stories. So after doing storytelling, it was great. We had PR, and we were featured on KARE 11, Fox, all that great stuff. And I thought about this: how can I build this company besides storytelling? Storytelling is great. Don't get me wrong. We still do storytelling here at Epimonia, but in order for me to run a sustainable company, I need revenue. So I was talking to mentors, faculties about my situation, and even my uncle, who was a designer back home in the Netherlands, and the best advice I've got from all of those people were, you should start a fashion company. And that was the moment when I realized this could help me sustain my business. And there was a moment when all these Syrian refugees fleeing from Syria, in particular, was going into Lesbos, Greece. I've seen tons of life jackets all over the shore of Greece, and that was a moment I was like, how can I take those life jackets and turn it into a symbolic, a product? And that was how I came about with the bracelet, with the patch on my sweatshirt, and it was the best decision I ever made in a business, so because it took me from not generating revenue to actually generating revenue and making my company sustainable. So I want to talk to you guys about the success I had with Epimonia in the beginning when I was starting my company. How I built Epimonia literally was not capital, That was the last thing on my mind, It was through PR, I've reached tons of journalists on Twitter, just getting my story out there. I've emailed over 50 emails a day. I've been featured on KARE 11, Fox 9, and all that momentum caught up. And that was one thing I've learned about, getting my story out there, because I didn't had no PR background. And just learning that process and just doing cold email, just literally getting my story out there, the journalists were happy. They were like, this is a young guy in college who's trying to get his story out there. And it was the most amazing thing I ever did, because landing at PR, a news station after news station, was like, it got caught fire at some point where we got featured on NPR. And after getting featured on NPR, we were a national. Like, it was just like this. And I was like, wow. So that was the moment that I realized that I've actually mastered the element of PR. You know, I was getting featured on New York Times. I was getting featured on Forbes. I was getting featured on Business Insider. Like, I'm getting featured on all this big news publication just by emailing them about my story, you know. So one advice I would give you guys is just get out there, share your story, do cold emails. You never know who's going to respond, because that one feature can lead you to tons of news publication. And the crazy part was, every time I was landing on a news publication, I was generating, I would say, roughly from 4K to 8,000 a day, just off one news publication. So that helped me build capital in my company, where I didn't seek investors. And that was the moment I was like, if I keep doing this continuously, you know, I'll be at a good stage in my company where I don't need investors. And until this day right now, I'm just using PR to build my company. And that's one thing I'm always going to remember when I started my company, and just share those advice to my, you know, to young entrepreneurs out there. So that was one of the success I've had when I started Epimonia, was PR. The challenges I've embarked throughout the journey was hard, man. I was a solo entrepreneur, you know, I was a solo partner. I didn't have no partner in the beginning. I mean, my partner left me after 3 months, unfortunately, but I had to dig it through, man. One aspect was I was the accounting, I was the marketer, I was the designer. I was just everything all at once, you know, and that was one challenging aspect when I was running my company, because it was so much pressure on me, you know, and especially being a solo founder, you know, but the reward pays off throughout, you know, the process in the future, you know, when you become successful. I personally think that social enterprises will be on the rise in the upcoming years. There's a lot of fashion companies who's moving towards sustainability, which is amazing. Yeah, it just helps the planet, you know, and just be mindful of what we're doing with our, you know, clothes, and just helps the environment. You know, that's what matters the most, end of the day, you know, taking care of our planet. Last but not least, one advice I would give you guys is having grit. Starting a business could be very tough. It could be very scary. It could be very challenging down the road. But always remember, why did you start this? That's what kept me going when I started Epimonia. And there was a lot of challenges throughout this whole journey. And I'm grateful for the lessons that it has taught me. I'm grateful for the mentors. And I'm just grateful for all the support I've received this last 3 years. And thank you once again, and good luck with everything. And you guys will do an amazing job. And go out there and conquer the world. Thank you once again for letting me share my story with you guys.
Thank you so much, Mohammed. You are truly unstoppable, and we are inspired by your work. I'm so proud of your achievements. Thank you for sharing your story with us today. Well, we're getting close to the end of the ceremony, and shortly our award winners will be announced. However, before we get there, I would also like to thank the many people who made this event possible, the many who helped prepare our students for the competition and lent their time and talents to judge the competition and offer feedback. Thank you to our online judges for taking the time out of busy schedules to review the first 2 rounds of student submissions. We are so thankful for the passion you have in supporting this next generation of social entrepreneurs. Our mentors, we cannot thank you enough for all the time you make to help our students work through their ideas. Your role is so vital in providing thoughtful feedback to our students. to carefully help them in evaluating their submissions and providing developmental feedback to all who participate. Finalist judges, thank you for joining us today and for sharing your expertise and for your support of our emerging entrepreneurs. It's the participation of experienced entrepreneurs and professionals such as yourself that make this event so meaningful to our students. A big shout out and thanks to our partner in this endeavor, the University of San Diego. We are grateful to be able to do this great work with friends like you. And finally, we want to thank Ron and Alexis Fowler. It is their generosity and passion for social entrepreneurship that makes this event possible. This competition has inspired students to think harder, dig deeper, to access their entrepreneurial talents, and pursue new ways to impact the world. Thanks again to all of our supporters. Okay, audience, it is now the time we've all been waiting for. We will find out who is taking home the top prizes in seed funding and earning 2 spots in the global competition this June. And we will start with our audience choice winner. Winning $500 for audience choice is Label. All right. Now, moving on to third place, winning $2,000 cash prize is VisuPlan, Rachel Farah and Kevin Malston. Congratulations, VisuPlan. Well done. Now, we're on to second place. Winning $3,000 in seed capital for second place is Label. Amy Helgeson, Tim Nath, Katie McDonald, Luca Arcuria, and Sarah Shaw. Congratulations, team. Well done. And finally, taking home the $5,000 first place prize in seed funding is Rsai, Ebenezer Dadson and John Wallace.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks for your support, and we're so excited to be moving forward. We'd like to thank all the judges and mentors at St. Thomas and at the Schultz School, and Ron and Alexis Fowler for sponsoring the competition. We're excited to move to the next stage of the competition and continue building our venture this summer and going forward. Thank you.
You are so welcome. All of the teams have so much to be proud of. We congratulate all of you for your outstanding work. Thank you for your passion, your creativity, and the hard work you've put in to get through this process and to share your ideas with us. Truly, you are all inspiring. Well, I would now like to welcome a very special guest, the Opus College of Business Dean, Dr. Stephanie Lenway. Dean Lenway has been a champion for not only the Schultz School of Entrepreneurship, but for entrepreneurial opportunities like the Fowler Global Social Innovation Challenge for all of our students. Dean Lenway would like to share a few congratulatory remarks.
Thank you, Laura. First, I want to show you my Epimonia bracelet and let you know I'm all in on this. And students, I'd like to congratulate you for all the hard work that got you here today. I applaud your creativity, your courage, and your perseverance. It's one of my great joys as Dean of the Opus College to be able to spend time with students like yourselves, seeing the way you take advantage of programs like this one, watching you develop the skills to mobilize people and resources to make the world a better place gives me tremendous hope for our collective future. By tackling the kinds of problems you have identified and crafting new solutions, you are helping map new paths to a better future for everyone. At the Opus College of Business and the Schultz School, we're committed to developing principled business leaders dedicated to advancing the common good. I'm inspired to see that mission come to life today in the work of each of you as student social entrepreneurs. We know that programs like this are vital for developing the talent and skills for our students and preparing them for the challenges ahead. Congratulations to each of you recognizing these opportunities and making the most of them. I'm totally impressed with your remarkable work and just want to congratulate everybody. You're all winners. The world is a winner to have you working on these hard issues. And I will just offer special congratulations to the winners today and the finalists and wish you all the best as you go on to the global finals in June. Really tremendous work. Everybody, I couldn't be more proud to be part of this community. Thank you, Laura.
Thank you so much, Dean Lenway.
And here, you can find these online.
Yes, the Epimonia and bracelets. Well, I guess we're almost done, but there's actually one more award to give away today, and that is to you, our audience. Thank you for joining us, for sharing the event on social media, and sharing your accolades with our finalist teams. And now, our lucky audience award winner is Abbas Raza. Congratulations, Abbas. We will be in touch to get you your Epimonia bracelet. So, congratulations again to all who participated. I want to thank all of our wonderful, small but mighty Schultz School staff who brought this entire program to you. A special shout out to Jessica Cooley, who is our fearless leader. A special shout out to Nanaya Abanka, who was the driving force behind this competition. And thank you to our mentors, reviewers, judges, and donors who supported our students. Students, you've proven you have the courage, creativity, skills, and commitment to make an impact in the world. So thank you again and have a great weekend. We look forward to seeing everybody in June at the Global Finals. Have a great afternoon.